What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Sound Lodge Podcast, also known as the Sludgecast.
Episode 28. Bang.
That's wrong. 27.
Episode 27.
Episode 27.
Bang. We batched record these, so I didn't really know which one it was.
Yeah,
these
we
were
actually
all recorded in January.
Yeah, this is our first one back. We recorded 26 episodes just all at one sitting, so it's bear with us, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This one's the first different one. But we're recording about 37 episodes today.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a long day in the office.
Yeah, long day. So yeah, it's been a long time since we've done one of these.
How have y'all been? I'll wait.
So leave it down in the comments below. We're gonna wait for you guys to type it.
This is a live stream episode.
Yeah.
Nope. So time is still a law that I have to abide by, and I'm still here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Still here, chugging along.
Unfortunately, you're still here.
You've been waiting so you can inherit my studio.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me today on this episode.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm the first guest on the podcast.
So why don't you say your name, what you do, and why you think you're worthy of being on this episode? Because my producer, I don't even know who you are, but they told me I should get you on.
It's like an audition. I got to try out to be on the podcast.
Dance for me.
Yeah, so I am. My name's Felix. I'm an exotic dancer, and I just making it pretty big in the exotic dancing world, and so trying to get my name out there. I have a new book, a new novel that I'm promoting. It's a vampire romance novel.
Is it smut?
Yeah,
love to hear that.
Just a little bit. So yeah, that's why I'm here, honestly. I don't even really want to be here, but it's just to promote my vampire romance smut novel.
So do you have any correlation to music? Because this is generally a music-related podcast.
I do listen to music.
Okay, so we can start with that.
Okay.
So what kind of music do you like?
Like Taylor Swift.
Get out.
Yeah,
but we love Taylor Swift, actually.
Yeah, Taylor Swift is my favorite artist, actually.
Yep.
If anybody's watching, that's a Taylor Swift fan. If you're 12 years old and a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Which
you're 12 years old.
Probably not happening, so.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, anyways, what's been going on past week?
Past week, let me think. I've dropped 3 videos this month.
Sick.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I'm proud of myself. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Just getting videos out,
Yeah.
I feel like when you stop dropping videos, you kind of you're obviously detached from the dopamine of releasing a video and getting it out there and seeing people see it and like leave comments.
Right.
And that's definitely a huge, the reason I make videos isn't for the views. Mm-hmm. I'll always make the videos, but it definitely helps. It helps you keep going because you're like,
totally.
you
see
these are
number on there, and you're like, yes.
Yeah, man. And you see like
do more of this.
Last video was 5 days ago, then it was only 1 week ago because usually it says if I dropped a video 5 days ago, the next one's
3 months ago.
Yeah, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Also, just seeing people more excited about the more frequent uploads is cool. So yeah. Still chugging along. Got a lot of videos in the work. The next video is going to be with you.
Yep.
Which we filmed 6 months ago.
Filmed when it was snowing outside.
Yeah.
Pretty insane.
But that made me think we haven't filmed a video together in a while.
Yeah, true.
We're usually like in each other's videos, just naturally.
Yeah.
Because we just hang out throughout the week. We actually talk to each other off camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to do another video where it's like, we're actually like
doing.
I actually say like, oh, this is Fizo, instead of just having you on and then like in the description saying sub to Fizo. But like, so yeah, we should definitely brainstorm a few. We actually have so many ideas, but we got to get another album in a day.
I just got another comment today on
Really?
my album in a day video.
What'd they say?
Somebody was like, oh yeah, me and my friend did like 10 tracks in 12 hours or something.
Whoa.
And they were like, we saved mixing and mastering for after because
there we go.
They were like, because it would have taken too much of our like creative ability or whatever. And they were like, I recommend you guys do that next time you do it. Which
Should we try that?
I don't know.
I don't think that's.
It's kind of you're kind of wussing out.
Yeah,
I feel like in a way, because I feel like that's part of the challenge is being able to not only just do the creative part, but do the kind of boring work as well all in one.
I mean, we can
day.
throw paint on the wall all day. We can make like 50 tracks that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just be like, oh, we'll mix it later. So.
Yeah, exactly. And also when you do that, it opens up the door to be like, well, I can probably add more tracks later and polish it up and all this kind of stuff. And then that's why people don't make an album in a day, because then they're like, well, this one's really good and I want to spend more time on it. And so if you just give yourself a hard deadline, it really caps it off to where you have to just make what you make in that day. Yeah. But we'll definitely do that at some point soon.
What you been up to last week?
Nothing crazy. Working on the video for the song that I made, which comes out on Friday. I've also been running a lot too. This last week I ran 26.2 miles in the week.
Whoa! So you're running like 3-4 miles every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of times I'll do a couple miles in the morning, a couple miles at night.
That's sick.
Yeah.
You feeling better?
About like running, or
just mood and general vibe.
Yeah, definitely feels good to just get out there and like just do sweat and do something.
Totally.
My shins don't feel good though. I have shin splints so bad. I'm trying to do like yesterday it was pretty excruciating. So I was doing a bunch of like little stretching and rehab stuff, like doing like tib raises and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to do that, and hopefully that'll get it better. But yeah, just my shin splints are brutal. Like just walking around, it's excruciating pain.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not that bad, but like if I'm like standing and I like kind of stretch it a little bit, it'll definitely hurt. And like earlier when I was walking, there was a few steps were kind of a little twinge of pain, but mostly when I run, it's like the first, I would say 0.3 to 0.4 of a mile when I start running is pretty brutal, and then it kind of just goes away, and then I just kind of deal with it, and I'm like, my brain just kind of like shuts off. But yeah, right when I start the run, it's always like, I feel like I'm like starting up an old car, where it's just like everything is like making a bunch of noise and it's all like rickety and everything. And then like once you get it going, once you get the juices flowing, it works well. But yeah, so that's good. Got some new shoes, so I'm able to actually do that.
That's nice.
Yeah, the shoes have been helpful. I've enjoyed them. They have the little like the cord that you pull, and I mean, I've showed them to you, but I'm just explaining it for the podcast. But they have the cord that you pull instead of the laces, and I'm not really sure how I feel about the cord yet.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still trying to make my mind up because I feel like it comes loose a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. It stays on for sure, but I feel like my foot has a little bit too much wiggle room with the cord, so I might try the laces. We'll see.
Are y'all cord shoe guys? Let us know.
Yeah, have you ever tried shoes with cords on them? Let us know.
We're a running podcast.
Yeah, this is a running podcast. So what we do here, we run while doing the podcast.
Ooh.
Imagine how hard that'd be.
Yeah. Podcast idea.
Yeah. That's what our next
worst
podcast.
Audio quality ever.
Yeah. Just breathing into the microphone a bunch.
Heavy wind. I think we're going to do that. Let us know in the comments below.
I'd be down to do that. The hardest part would be how we would film that. Maybe like have somebody drive in a car.
Yeah, we'd have to get a very abandoned straight road, and they drive in front of us. So we'd have to have one person drive, one person, preferably in a truck, in the bed filming, and then so we'd really only need 2 people. Or then maybe a boom mic guy. Get a boom mic guy too.
Yeah, true. We could also do a track. Go to a track and have a golf cart.
Ooh.
And have somebody sit on a golf cart.
How do we get the golf cart?
I don't know. Steal one.
Or
where would I even steal? Oh, from probably a golf course.
Or someone in the neighborhood.
True. They've got a lot of golf.
Yeah.
It is very strange how everybody just rides around in golf carts
all the
time. It's sick.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Just riding around with your fam.
We need a golf cart.
Yeah, we should get a golf cart. What would we do with it?
I would ride around everywhere.
I'll probably eat lunch in it. That's what I would use it for.
Yeah. Just don't drive it at all. Just for eating lunch.
All right, guys, we're going to actually just kick this one off. We've got a new segment of the podcast.
Presented by Mamitas.
You've been listening to a lot of Sunday conversations.
Yeah. What if we do a new segment presented by Mamitas?
I'm going to bleep out every time you say Mamitas because no free sponsorships.
No free sponsors.
Guys
We're gonna say the same thing. Undoubtedly, we're gonna say the same thing.
You go.
If anyone wants to sponsor our podcast, feel free to go ahead. Reach out to us, sponsor us.
Yeah. I checked our PayPal account. Not gonna say the exact number, but we need to.
It says you guys need to get some sponsorships.
Well, let's just say we're not going to be able to pay the next Shopify renewal, and it's going to be charging us.
Yeah, so definitely sponsor us.
Definitely sponsor us for that, but more on us. I
or
think.
buy some merch.
Yeah.
Look, merch. That's pretty cool. You guys should go check it out.
That's pretty cool. It clothes you. It it shrewds your nudity. Or not shroud.
Shroud.
Yeah, it shrouds your nudity.
Yeah. That's good. Or if you'd like to embrace your nudity, you can just have the shirt on off to the side while you be nude. That could work too.
True.
Depends on what your kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you're
use the
into.
shirt as like a blanket on a picnic.
Yeah.
You probably only last a few minutes before you get kicked out. But
You could buy one of our 3XL shirts. I think we have those available.
we do. Yeah, I think we have 4XL.
Oh yeah, buy a 4XL shirt, put it down as a picnic blanket, and have a picnic on it.
I think that'd be cool if we got a 4XL.
That would actually be hilarious if somebody did that. So if you do that, send us a picture.
That'd be actually cool to make a blanket.
Sound Lodge blanket.
Sound Lodge blanket.
That'd be cool. I'd buy it. That'd be sick. This is what we're gonna do. Sound Lodge blanket. It's it has a black border around it, and then it has the Sound Lodge logo big in the middle, and then it has a bunch of instruments and little notes and colorful stuff around it.
I love that. We need to make a tote bag. There's a lot of dreams for items. I think the Sound Lodge logo is just pretty sick, nasty.
It is.
Going a
cool
lot of
logo.
cool stuff. But yeah, guys, we have a new segment, not presented by Beep, but presented by
Sound Lodge.
Sound Lodge.
Presented by soundlodge.net.
Check it out. Really
Go check
cool
out
company.
the website.
Those guys are really cool. One of them is very handsome. The new segment is call-ins. We're gonna start having some call-ins, man. We're gonna get a little bit more intimate with y'all.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Also a little bit worried.
We're gonna get super intimate with you guys.
So send in a recording of you just talking about whatever, asking us a question, talking about something you're struggling with. I think those would be really cool. Just really getting a more personal look at what your situation is, what your dreams are, and then we can try to help you out with as much as we can, because we don't really know what we're doing either, but more of like we're doing this together instead of we're showing you what to do. So yeah, send in a call-in for the next episode. Send in as many call-ins as you want. Talk about whatever.
Yeah. Spam the channel with call-ins.
Spam it. We've got one call-in to kick it off. I'm not going to say their name unless they say it in the video or in the audio. I'm a little bit worried to press play.
What's up, guys? It's me, your favorite podcast listener, also known as Zombie X Leader. What's one album or a song that changed the way you listen to music, or changed the way of how you make music? I better be on the new episode, because like I said, I'm your favorite podcast listener.
Shouts out Zombie.
He is my favorite podcast listener.
Zombie.
I hate to pick favorites. It's like picking favorites of your children.
Y'all are all our children.
I can't pick favorite. He's one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah. No,
He's up
Zombie.
there.
Zombie's one who got us the great birthday video. I felt truly loved when I saw that.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Sound Lodge! Sound Lodge!
Yeah, what a legend, man. But yeah, what's an album that changed the way that I...
That's a really good
make
question.
music? That is a great question. What
Changed
about
the
you?
way I produce music. It'd have to be an album that I listened to while I was producing music. It can't be before. I'm thinking. I mean, obviously, every album that I've ever listened to that I like has slowly morphed the way I change music. It's hard for me to pick one album that really just made me like flip, you know, and be like, oh, I want to make this genre now.
Right.
I think just really every bedroom pop artist at the time was changing the way I was making music. I was making more indie poppy music from my original like remixes and electronic stuff that I did. So, but they didn't really drop albums because I'm thinking of like SoundCloud.
Yeah.
That I followed them all on SoundCloud, and they would just drop music from there. I think Immunity from Claro would be one. I think that's her first album, her debut album. I could be wrong though, but that I don't really remember when that dropped. I don't remember thinking like, oh, she dropped an album, but I just remember listening to it a lot. I still listen to it a lot.
Yeah.
And that definitely has influenced the way I make music. It's very You know, it's got that very indie kind of raw feel to it,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of vocal layering. I think that influenced the way I mixed vocals was
Yeah.
her vocal mixing. But yeah, I'll keep thinking. You thought of one?
Yeah. It is crazy how different Immunity is from her latest album.
Yeah.
It's pretty nutty. But I actually also really like, I mean, Claire's just amazing, but I also liked her other album where she's got the dowel on the cover. That one's really good too.
Yeah, all three of them have different vibes.
Yeah, completely different vibes. I went back and listened to the second album because I wasn't like super crazy about it at first. Like there was a few songs I really liked a lot, like Amoeba is really good.
Yeah.
And there's a few other ones. But I went back and listened and I was like, wow, the instrumentation is really, really good on this album. So yeah, obviously her third album I think is the best by far. I think it's one of the best albums ever. But yeah, she's just incredible. But one of the albums for me that I think had a big impact, honestly, actually there's two. The first one is Goodbye and Good Riddance by Juice WRLD. That was a huge influence on me because that was like part of the whole reason I started even using guitar in my beats at all. Because like I heard Nick Mira's like guitar beats and like the whole Juice WRLD type beat thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is incredible. Like I need to do this like 700 million times.
Yeah.
So I did. So that was a big influence on me using guitar. And then the other one that I think made me want to start like recording drums and doing the whole like indie thing was Far Caspian Ways to Get Out. That was a huge influence on me as well. So I think those are the two main ones that I can think of at the moment.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm excited for Far Caspian's new album coming out in July.
That will be sick.
I'm excited for that.
He's going to be on the podcast.
We're going to have him on the podcast. He's our first guest lined up.
Dude, it's going to bring you massive exposure. We get like 100 views every episode.
Yeah. That's literally 100 viewers. That'll translate directly.
Yeah. We will force them all to listen to the album, man.
That's
It's
what we
gonna
do.
be worth it.
We actually ban people that don't do everything we say on our podcast. So if you guys don't do everything we say, you get immediately banned.
Yep.
From the Sunlodge channel.
That's so true. Thinking more about it, I think, again, I can't really find an album, but I think Versace, he influenced me a bunch because he's just a really good producer. And his Zach Faraci account, which is more like demos, really helped me kind of break my kind of cookie cutter production style and get more into like recording my own instruments. I think Joji's first album, I forget what it's called, but Joji's first album also kind of really influenced my production because his first album was very lo-fi too. I think it was lo-fi and bedroom pop that really just kind of morphed my original sound.
Yeah.
And then I just started listening to more like indie music, and then I kind of moved over there and kind of less focused on the pop, but I still make pop music.
Yeah.
But like Kuko, he was another big influence.
Yeah.
Omar, Apollo. I'm just thinking of like all the OG kind of that whole SoundCloud wave. That was such a fun little period of music. I don't know what Kuko's doing right now.
I don't know. I think of Dominic Fike too. A little bit.
Yeah.
In that vein. Yeah. Shout out to SoundCloud. When I was on SoundCloud, I listened to a lot of the like SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah, same.
Like Ski Mask and X and all of them.
Yeah.
Lil Pump.
That whole Double XL group.
Yeah. That was a great group. Shout out to rappers. I don't really listen to rap that much anymore, but
Yeah, honestly.
I think it's kind of just like a boring genre at this point.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy.
I
but
mean, there's
feel like-
definitely rappers that aren't boring, but I just don't listen to it enough to where I can find them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I listen to it when I work out. But
I'm not listening to like new rap though. I'm listening to just like songs that I know already,
That's a good point.
to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. Music is cool. Music's chill. I like it.
music is chill.
Yeah, we should start a podcast about it.
Thank you, Zombie X, for that question.
Thank you, Zombie X.
Guys, don't forget to send in a call in. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
That was fun.
Because we just had no clue. Usually we can look at the question and kind of prepare for it, but I was like, what is he going to say?
Yeah. Is he going to say something crazy?
Yeah.
Are we going to get canceled?
Is he going to call me out for stealing people's guitar riffs
Yeah.
and faking my guitar playing?
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Segue.
Segue. Wow, look at
I'm
how
a podcaster.
Look at how professional that was. Yeah, so Giacomo Toura vibe thing was pretty crazy. It's kind of a dead thing now at this point, but basically, if you don't know, guy on Instagram, everybody thought he was a really good guitar player, and then he just ended up stealing other people's songs and posting them for more views than the smaller artists got. But
not even crediting them.
Yeah, not
except for
crediting them.
sometimes like barely in the description.
One of the funniest things that I saw was Rick Beato did a video about him, and he basically just said, like, he filmed an episode with him, but he couldn't play well enough to be on his channel. It was like, yeah, he just like wasn't good. This guy wasn't good at all. He couldn't even like play his own music.
Yeah, all the comments were like, that is the coldest line you can give to somebody.
100%.
Especially from Rick Beato.
Yeah.
He's like saying it in like a amiable way.
Yeah.
He's just, but he couldn't play well.
Yeah.
So I couldn't make the channel. Didn't make the cut.
Yeah, no, that's actually unreal. It just goes to show, man, if you fake it till you make it,
dude,
it's gonna get exposed.
It's unbelievable. Like, I would never even think about doing it. Just because of the sheer fact that at some point I'm gonna be up there playing live, and like the backing track, well, not even the backing track, the solo that I'm riffing over, that I'm miming over, is gonna cut out. Yeah. And then there's going to be that moment. Yeah. Or the moment when you show up to Rick Beato's studio and the whole time you're driving there in the back of your head, you're like, he's going to figure it out.
Yeah.
He's going to figure it out that I comp everything and then
he's going to smell it on me.
Yeah.
He'll know. Yeah, no, that's the thing is like, I feel like Rick Beato even talked about it in the video, but somebody like Wes Montgomery did TV performances, and there's tons of bands throughout time that have done TV performances where they're miming and not actually playing.
Well, Adam Neely brought up the point that like Whitney Houston's national anthem, which is like one of the most legendary national anthems of all time, was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Which that's what I'm saying. Like it happens a lot.
Totally. But the thing is, you have to actually be able to do the things that you're faking, you know. Sometimes you fake the things because it's better for the performance aspect, which makes sense. Personally, I would never want to go to a live show of somebody where they have it pre-recorded or they have like a set planned out or they're lip syncing or not actually playing, whatever. That I feel like that would just be a waste of my time because I want kind of the real authentic experience. But I get for TV or for other stuff like that where you would want to make the best performance possible. But the thing is, actually, when it comes time to play for real, you have to actually be able to do it for real too. Otherwise, no one is going to respect you as an artist. So that's really the main thing.
That's where I bring up the point of, like, I just don't even think he respects it enough. Because he was getting a bag doing this. He was getting signature guitars. He was getting random gear sent to him every single day.
Isn't that insane?
Like, he was getting a bag, an absolute bag, doing what he was doing. A point that Adam Neely brings up is that, like, every genre has a community. Like, rap really respects original wordplay and flow. And if you try to copy other people, then that's like totally against the code of rap. And then jazz is all about like improvising and coming up with your own melodies and things like that. And like every genre has something that the community really respects. And like rock music is the athleticism of playing the riff. So like actually being able to play really quickly. And I think for you and me, our genre is indie, and indie really respects being authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's like the heart and soul of indie music. Yeah. So for you and I, we're definitely probably on the extreme of seeing this and thinking to ourselves, this is absolutely like psychotic.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, exactly. But then you have like people going to a Taylor Swift concert, not to bring her up again. It's really every huge pop artist, so it's not just Taylor Swift, but you don't want to go to a concert with backing tracks. Every pop performance ever made, unless they actually have a band up there, it's just one person with a mic. And you know, she has a great voice, so she might not be using autotune, but there's most likely some like slight autotune on most pop concerts that you go to. But that's the thing, is like those fans, they don't care about that.
No,
and it actually gives them a better experience if you know what they want, and it's not like very authentic live performance. It's more just like having a good time singing along to the songs, having it sound crystal clear because the record sounds crystal clear.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing, is consistency. It's like,
Yeah.
I saw a guy talking about why he uses plugins and why he uses amp modeler VSTs and stuff like that when he has a bunch of amps and he has a bunch of pedals and all that kind of stuff. He was like, it's just about making sure that it is the sound that you are going for every time. You know, when you're performing live, you want the sound to be the sound that you want. You don't want to have to mess with stuff, and you don't want there to be any sort of, you know, physical thing that causes some sort of complication, where it's the same thing with pop music. People want to hear a certain thing because they're used to hearing this is how it sounds on the song, so that's what I want to hear. And also, not even do a lot of people that listen to that kind of music and go to those kind of shows, do they not care that it's pre-recorded or that it's, you know, not actually a live performance or whatever? It's not even like real. They don't even notice half the time. Like, a lot of people can't even discern if like that guy's actually playing the guitar or not. Like, people, it goes over certain people's heads like, oh, that guitar's not even plugged in.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They don't know. So I think a lot of people are just there for the experience and there for the show. And sometimes a lot of people are just like on drugs too. I'm not talking about like Taylor Swift fans, obviously, because they're like 12. But like for a lot of other shows, a lot of people just go to shows and like just get belligerently drunk and do a bunch of drugs. So they don't care. Like, they just want to like stand around and have loud sounds blast into their ears. So yeah, I think it is interesting to separate the world of performance from the world of making the music, you know, but you kind of do have to in certain scenarios. But yeah,
and then like EDM
I could just
music,
never imagine that though.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, every time I'd post one of those videos, I'd be like, at some point, someone's gonna bring up the fact that I don't actually have a whammy bar here, and I'm hitting this like air whammy.
Yeah,
and people are, that's the thing, man. I mean, if you can get your bag. Go get your bag, man.
Yeah.
Are you in the camp of like, it doesn't hurt anybody, let him get his bag, or are you like, that should not be allowed ever?
Well, if he's stealing, like if he's faking it, just faking it.
Yeah, there's two different levels to it. It's the faking, like miming what he's actually playing, and then the stealing. The stealing is blatantly, hey, don't ever do that.
Yeah, that's objectively wrong. But I think the faking thing is like, if he's doing that and he's getting views and he's getting clicks and he's getting likes and stuff for it, power to him. Like, that's great for him. I mean, it's not like a thing where every single music video you post has to be totally real and has to be totally just like raw you playing, because it's the same thing. Like, you want consistency, and it's easier to sometimes just put an audio file and make it look like you're playing. Like, there's a lot of Instagram guitars that do that, but a lot of them can actually really play as well, and a lot of them make their own music that is actually good. So I think that's really the part that I hate, is him stealing other people's music and other people's songs for his own benefit. Like, he's making a bag off of somebody else's stuff, which is like, I'm pretty sure that's like illegal. Like, you're violating like copyright,
especially if you're
law.
monetizing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And those artists aren't getting any portion of the revenue. That is so messed up. He's getting an absolute bag, and like this other guy who had a 20 view video, sees it. And he's like, yep, hit that note. Oh, hit that one. And it's every single note of the solo.
Yeah,
that'd be unbelievable.
That's blatantly just horrible and also like illegal. So that I disagree with. But like, if he's gonna fake the videos and people are gonna watch them, like, he's taking advantage of a system where people are gonna watch that kind of shit. So yeah, go ahead and do that. But I wouldn't do that. Yeah, weird stuff, man.
It makes me think of like, dude, am I cheating when I throw Melodyne on my vocals? You know?
Literally everyone does that, though.
Yeah.
And also, when you sing normally, like, just without, just like live performing, it doesn't sound like bad. Like, it sounds, to me, it sounds essentially the same. So, and to the majority of people, it's going to sound the same. So, I think, like, you have enough skill with singing to where it's not like cheating to put Melodyne on your vocals or whatever. Like, with me, when I put Melodyne on my vocals, I'm like, that note was just not the note that I did, but it sounds good this way. So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Melodyne is the best. But I think that's also a whole other point, is that people feel inclined to do this because pop music is so like crystal clear and perfected that everybody is used to the vocalist having basically heavy auto-tune on them because like they're not used to hearing anything like too natural in the way a vocalist sounds, or having a guitar background rhythm guitar that's slightly out of time because the guitarist is human. So the engineer decides, okay, I'm just gonna heavily either quantize this or chop it up. And I do that to all my songs because I feel like all of our ears are slowly trained to the like music just being more perfected and less live.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even the idea of recording to a click is kind of an unnatural thing as well, because
That's a
no
good point.
human being is going to stay perfectly in time. Like some drummers are really, really good and they can hold time like a freaking atomic clock, but it's really not super natural because the majority of people wouldn't do that. So it is almost weird though when you hear music that isn't recorded to a click and you're like, what the heck? This is like, I can't even follow it properly and whatever. But also there's a lot of music that you would never even know wasn't recorded to a click and it sounds totally perfectly normal. So it's just one of those things that it's like, does it even really matter that much, I think unless it's like way off, unless the tempo is changing like a bunch throughout the song, I feel like it's not really a huge thing.
Yeah, I mean, music is totally subjective.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're definitely on the extreme side of all of this. We want everything to be extremely authentic, and that's just what we're kind of gravitated towards. But, if he wasn't stealing and he was just miming over things, he'd have, heavy guitar enthusiasts watch the videos and be mad because he's not being authentic or he's not actually playing what he's playing. But it's not going to, like, just go get your bag, do your shows where you're miming over even that. But if you're giving people a good time and they like your music that you haven't stolen from other people, then go ahead and do that, I think.
That's the thing. I think if you didn't steal other people's shit, it would never have been a big scandal.
Totally. Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's pretty obvious when you watch some of those videos. I'm like, this is very clearly him not playing.
Yeah, a lot of times when these videos come out, they watch it and they say, see how he kind of did this thing that this other guy did? And then in this section, 30 seconds later, he also did this thing that this guy did. But this was just play them both at the same time, same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, so blatantly obvious. It's crazy the fact that nobody caught on to this sooner, to be honest. But
shout out to that one YouTuber who made the video.
Yeah, facts. Started a massive tsunami of this whole scandal in the music world. Yeah, don't steal other people's music. Just make your own music.
Yeah, or
I really don't think that anybody who watches our channel would ever be liable to like steal other people's music. I feel like it would just never even cross the mind of most of our audience, because it's just like, why would I do that? Like I make the music because I enjoy making music for myself. I think that's where the distinction comes in with this guy, is like he cares way more about social media and being like a famous person than about actually making music and like the art.
Yeah, dude. I mean, watching those clips, I'm not hating on the guy. I don't know him as a person. Yeah. But I'm just saying subjectively,
piece of shit though.
I don't like his content, and especially those reels like super brightly colored. And he's like,
I know, I hate that kind of stuff. It's so goofy.
And then you have like a girl in a red dress.
Yeah.
She's showing a little skin, and then she's like singing along, obviously
showing some ankle. Yeah, no, there's that other guy too who does the classical guitar, and he's like I don't know exactly what his ethnicity is, but I think he's like a Spanish dude. I don't know his name. You guys probably know his name. But every video, it's just like him with a classical guitar, and he's like,
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And he's like,
that guy's talented.
For sure, he's talented, but like I also hate those videos too. Like he's talented, definitely, but those kind of videos just bother me so much because it's like, dude, this is just so goofy.
Yeah, I don't want to start any beefs. We're not in any position to start beefs with any of these people.
I mean, I'm not anywhere near as good as they are, but I just don't like the content.
No, that's what I was saying. I'm agreeing with you. That's why I don't want to do it. But like, just the way he does it, he's like so into it, where he like flips his hair sometimes when he does the smack and stuff, and it's just like, okay, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's so over the top.
But
and
dude,
goofy.
It's an act, and like the people who like his music, they're really into that.
Yeah, totally.
It's a much better show to see him like act like it's taking every part of his soul to do this thing instead of just him doing it because he's
Yeah.
practiced so much he can just do it with his eyes closed.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
he like has to act like he's just
Right. It just reminds me of the influencers in the wild thing where like if somebody was 50 feet away watching that guy, they'd be like, what is he doing? What? There was a video I saw the other day of this guy going out to eat with his girlfriend and they got like a pizza and she's just like, she's got her phone. She's like zooming in on the pizza.
The boyfriend's just sitting there. Let me know when I can eat it.
Whatever we can eat. She's like, just one more shot.
So question. Let's get into a question.
How are babies made? Somebody asked that, I think.
No way. No way. Did somebody answer it as well?
Yeah,
Maybe?
it would be nice if somebody answered it.
Yeah. Because if somebody asked it, but nobody's answered it, like we could answer it right now, but I think it'd be better.
Because we know.
Yeah, but I
do
think
know.
it'd be better if we waited
Yeah.
for someone else for us to compare.
Have a second opinion
Yes.
at least.
Or technically it'd be a third
Yeah.
opinion.
Right.
But we both
Not because we
know.
need it, yeah.
Yeah.
But just for reference.
Yeah,
kinda.
because I guess we could compare both of our
Right.
answers, but I think it'd be better if
Yeah, somebody else
yeah.
we could compare with as well.
So go ahead and send that question and answer it.
Yeah.
Maybe send the question and then say like, "This is what I think."
Yeah, that's a good
Let's
idea.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime you have a question now, you say, this is my question, and then this is what I think about the question.
Okay, guys. Eli Forest says, "What are some life hacks for living on a tight budget?" This is a really good question,
It's a good question.
and this is a question that
Punch the
I'm
microphone.
passionate about. I think it's hard to make a living on music. Some would say impossible.
It's hard to make a living on anything these days,
That's a great point.
especially music.
That is such a good point. Yeah, I'm gonna be a nomad.
That's a really good tip on how to
There we
save
go.
money. Move
Live in your car.
into the. Oh yeah, I was gonna say move
Or
into the
you might not have a
wilderness.
car.
Yeah, true.
Live in the subway
Yeah.
station.
Yes. You know how when they have when somebody like falls onto the train tracks in the subway, they have a little thing that goes underneath the platform where you can roll under so that you don't get ran over by the fucking train. You live inside that area, inside the little underpass.
You have a
of
little
the train
music studio
platform.
in there.
Yeah,
And then you make a series called Cooking Up
by the trains.
by the Trains.
station.
And the start of every video is the artist. You're already down there waiting for them, but there's a second camera showing them trying to get under there without getting violently run over by a train.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? Rest in peace to the friendship of H3 and iDubbbz, but their old collab video where iDubbbz comes to Ethan's house and he's like, oh, the front door doesn't work. You have to like come through the back, and he lets down like a fire safety ladder, and Ian has to climb the ladder and then like climb over the balcony. And he was like, but how am I gonna get out? And he's like, through the front door. It's like that actually would be kind of a funny way to start out
That would be funny.
an
yeah.
episode. Is like the person has to like go on a journey to find where you're actually even
Yeah, it's like
at.
when I picked up my guitar. Climb on the
Yeah.
roof and come down the chimney.
Yeah, climb on the roof and come down the chimney.
We have all our artists, whenever we do collabs, are just covered in soot.
Yeah. They emerge from the chimney.
If you want to be on the pod, bring an extra cleanse your clothes. And then.
Chimney close. And you climb the chimney.
Do you have any life hacks of saving money, trying to be an artist nowadays? And yeah, do you have any things that would help people save money? Do you have anything that would?
Yeah, so
I'm sorry about that, guys.
just pure fucking brain aneurysm right there. Yeah, eat the same thing every single day.
It's gonna suck the first few months, but then you lose all your taste buds.
Yeah.
And it becomes completely normal.
And people will ask you, do you get tired of it? And they're like, no, I love it. In reality, you don't love it. You just convinced yourself of that you do love it. But
It's like
just
that
eat the same thing every
Black
day.
Mirror episode where you're living through someone else's head and you're just sitting in a couch in their brain. You're a tiny little man in their brain and you're watching through their eyes and you see them ask your body that question and you're just in the back like, I hate it.
Yeah.
But nobody can hear you. And then you hear your body say, I actually love it. You know, you actually get used to it.
Yeah.
But you're just screaming.
Yeah. Please let me out of here. Please.
No, dude, that's a life hack. Number 1 life hack is stop eating out.
Yeah, totally.
Dude, if you're
Dude, that's
what do you love more, music or McDonald's?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, fast food is so expensive.
Being fucking fat as hell
Yeah.
or doing good music.
I mean, it's going to help you in 2 ways, your money and your gut.
Exactly. Dude, eating out is one of the worst things that you can do because it adds up so much. Like, genuinely, let me put it into perspective. I can go to Chipotle, right? And to eat one singular meal, it's like $15. That's one meal. You have one meal from that. I can go to Walmart. I can get a bag of rice for $2 maybe, and I can get like 5 pounds of chicken for $10, and then maybe get a little bag of frozen vegetables to go along with it as well.
Can of beans, 50 cents.
Yeah, can of beans, a can of corn, whatever you want, some sort of added vegetable. That's also $15. That will have you set for probably a week. If, you know, maybe a little bit less than a week, depends on, you know, how much you eat it, whatever. But that $15 can feed you for a week, whereas you're spending that on one single meal at Chipotle. Which, totally not trying to guilt anyone, because if like you enjoy eating out at places and like trying new places, I think that's totally chill to like try out new places and stuff like that. And like if you have the money to spare on it, like for sure go and do that, but like not all the time.
Dude, I don't
Once
even,
a week maybe even.
I don't even think that, because I think like, I mean, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, with that, but like also from the balance perspective, like trying to like enjoy life as well. Like
Yeah.
if it's something that is like enjoyable to you to go and try places, like to do that for sure.
If it's a big point of your personality, don't give up that. But I think if it's not, and I think for most people it isn't,
Yeah.
then like you're saying, I mean, meal prep.
Yeah.
Learn how to meal prep, because that's another thing. Cooking takes a long time.
Yeah.
So don't like get groceries and get like plan, okay, Monday night I'm going to have chicken parm. And then Tuesday night I'm going to make pasta with red sauce and blah, blah, blah. And like,
But to be fair, if that helps you stay consistent with it, and that's like fun for you to do that,
and
do that for sure.
And that's still better than eating out.
Totally.
But
100%.
I think even on the more extreme, break it down to your bases and your proteins.
Yeah.
And the bases could be rice, lentils, could be greens if you like salad.
Yeah.
But just a base carb.
Yeah, you need a carb, you need a bunch of protein, get a lot of protein, get some sort of carb, some sort of vegetable to go along with it, and then get some fruits or something.
Yeah.
Literally all you need.
And then one day, you do this even more so than I, because when I cook my chicken, I get the Walmart, like, I think it's like 5 chicken breasts, and I'll cook.
It's like the long one?
Yeah, I'll cook 3, and then I'll save 2.
I cook it all.
Yeah, but when you cook chicken, you have like a mountain of chicken.
It's gigantic. Literally like chicken mountain is in front of me.
Yeah. So yeah, get your proteins, which is meat. If you're vegetarian, that's going to be a little more difficult.
Yeah, we're not talking to you.
Yeah, we're not talking to you.
Do some other shit.
No hate. I respect your game and loving animals, but get a lot of chicken.
I think that's more so vegan. Vegetarians.
Did I say vegetarian?
Yeah, vegetarians don't
Vegetarians
really
when you don't eat vegetables.
Vegetarian. Yeah, that's that one. Yeah, vegetarians, I don't really understand. I think, like, maybe it's a vegan thing as well, but, like, there's still, it's not, like, full on, I care about animals, because they're using, like, animal products still.
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
Vegan is, like, full on.
Vegan is just nothing animal that comes from an animal.
No, shouts out to you. But
shout out to vegans. Veganism is one of the unhealthiest diets that you can have. So if you stayed alive for this long and you have no health defects, then congrats to you. Don't be vegan.
Shouts out. Much love.
Sound Logic Podcast does not support veganism, and we think you're an idiot if you're a vegan.
I think, man, if you're doing it for the right reasons, then good for you. But maybe do a little more research.
Yeah. It's all right if you have a steak every once in a while.
I agree.
Or all the time.
Meat's good, man. Meat's good. Meat will fill you up. Hey, guess what? 1 chicken breast, not even half a chicken breast, maybe a quarter of the calories of that bag of chips you're eating.
Exactly.
And way more protein. There's protein's not existent in that bag of chips.
Yeah.
And you need 7 of those bags of chips to satiate you.
Yeah.
All you need is half a chicken breast to satiate you.
Exactly. You should be eating 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that you have. So you can take your body weight, do times 0.7, and that'll give you the low end of how much protein you should be eating in a day, and try to get that number. And if you have trouble keeping track of that, then track your calories. That's what I do. I track my calories. I mean, so we're going off on a tangent.
We're going off.
We're talking about food mostly here.
Dude, but I think that food is a huge thing.
Food is huge,
because there's two things you
one of the
definitely
biggest
need.
expenses.
Yeah, two things you definitely need: food and shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Those are primary.
Yeah.
And both of those things you have to pay money for. So you're gonna have to pay money for those things regardless. So yeah, I think getting really into food isn't a bad thing, because that changed when I moved to Nashville. I was like, okay, I got to start saving money. I got to really, really break this down. And I mean, I never went out to eat really ever. I've always been a huge saver.
Mm-hmm.
And that resulted in me being actually pretty rich. Not rich, but when I say rich now, I'm like, dude, I had thousands of dollars in my bank account.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I still save as much as I did in high school.
If I wanted to buy a cheeseburger from McDonald's, I couldn't now.
Exactly. I still save as much as I did in high school, but it's all going to rent. So it looks like I'm not saving any money at all.
Yeah.
My budget is still the exact same. But yeah, the food is huge. So just meal prep, cook it all in one day, put it in glass Tupperware, and you have food for a week. Don't have to worry about it anymore. You know, it's not going to be as fun. Really, this conversation is more to the people who want to try to do this for a living. Like I'm trying to give you the best advice, and a lot of it will seem very extremist, but it all comes down to like, this is all I want. All I want to do is make music for a living.
Yeah.
And it takes sacrifice for freedom. Like, I think a lot of people think the biggest thing to get like freedom and wealth or any other kind of thing like that is things you need to obtain and like get. But it actually, the first step is removing a lot of sacrifices. There's a quote that I need to pull up, but it's like, freedom comes, because I've had this in my notebook for a while. To be free, to be happy, and to be fruitful can only be attained through sacrifice of many common but overestimated things. So like things that are very common, like eating out, that's overestimated. You don't need that, you know? Or going out, especially when it's expensive. I think go out with friends, you need that in life. And I definitely removed that even in Nashville, and it definitely hurt me a lot. So there's some things that I think playing the longer game and try not to get burnt out is also important. But just
prioritizing mental health is also good. I think if you can do something that costs a little extra money, like if you're, you know, let's say get a membership to like, I don't know, like a gym or something, like that's important. You know, do that because that is going to benefit your overall health and mental health. Or like if you are going to take a class, like a painting class or something every week so you can, you know, be around people and socialize, do that because that's worthwhile spending your money on. But like you're saying, there's a lot of things you don't need to spend your money on that a lot of people do spend their money on, you know, and a lot of like, a big thing is subscriptions too, like people subscribing to just random stuff. Like, let's be honest. Okay, I'm going to not go on the record here. You don't really need Netflix. You don't really need any of those other things because if you look hard enough, you don't need them. And I'm going to leave it at that. So there's not a big reason to have streaming services.
Yeah, that's another, So step 2 is going through all your finances. Like begin, if you don't do it now, starting now, if you want to be a full-time music man or content creator. Self-made, the first step is just tracking all your finances and going through your bank log and tracking everything that you've made, everything that you've paid. And you do that for 3 months and you get a very good idea of kind of your own spending habits and learning about that. Because I've learned a lot about my own spending habits. I don't think I spend a lot until I look at it and I'm like, oh, my business expenses, which are tax deductible, but that's the reason why sometimes when I look at it, I think this is way higher than it should be. I shouldn't have bought that guitar. I shouldn't have bought this thing. And you learn about your spending habits, and then next time I'm on Facebook Marketplace, I need to think, okay, do I really need this?
Yeah.
I know it's a business expense, but I actually can't afford this right now.
Yeah, it's very easy to spend without thinking about it, you know? It's good to, every purchase that you make, you should think about it. Even if you don't track all of your expenses, which that's pretty autistic. Like, some people don't do that. And I think some people can get by not doing that just fine.
Totally, especially if you already have a little bit of money.
Yeah.
You can get by that.
But just be very cognizant of what you are spending your money on. Like, a lot of people will just, you know, go to wherever and buy a little thing here, buy a little thing there, and that adds up, you know? So make sure that you're aware of the stuff that you're buying and the stuff that you're spending money on. And also just try to get everything with a good deal, you know? I never buy anything that's not at a good price.
Yeah.
Well, as far as, you know, talking about music gear and stuff like that, like, obviously there's certain, like, you're not going to get a deal on chicken at Walmart, you know, but
I feel like that's...
But even then you can. Because I'll buy that's another life hack, is that I'll buy the meat that has like little yellow sticker on it, where it's like save $4. I'll do that because it's like the expiry date is that day.
Yeah, and you're like,
so
I'm
then
going to
I just cook it that day. Yeah,
exactly.
So that's another life hack.
Yeah, I think the spending thing is like psychological, and it comes down to personality a little bit too, because I've always grown up, like, my family's always looked for the budget, you know, the budget friendly item, and that just kind of trained me to think that way. But I think there's a lot of people who don't even think twice about buying something. Yeah. And you know, you're not going to make it in the music world if you're starting now with that mentality.
Also, it's really important to be patient too, because a lot of things that you want, like this, when I bought more plugins, this would be the case with a lot of plugins, where if you just waited until Black Friday, or you waited until Christmas, or you waited until whatever, it would go on sale for a lot of times half price or way cheaper. And if you think about, you know, Analog Lab is a good example. I bought Analog Lab for half price. It's usually $200. I bought it for $100, and I waited like a couple months for it to go on sale for $100. But that saved myself $100, literally $100 that I'm saving and keeping in my account. Where, you know, if you're doing that multiple times over and over, buying plugins, buying music gear, and you're able to save $50 here, $100 here, you're saving over like $1,000 in no time at all. So that kind of stuff adds up. Don't think that small purchases are just a drop in the bucket, because, you know, once you have enough drops in the bucket, the bucket fills up.
Totally. Yeah, I think another one is, if you're single right now, take advantage of it.
Yeah, be single.
Yeah, no, I'd like, seriously. I think that's also another point. Like, don't, you know, the girl's gonna come, the guy's gonna come. Wait, you'll find her, dude. You'll find her at some point. Don't go looking for her in this chapter of your life. I think, you know, if she's the one, then like y'all will meet somehow, and then make it work. But being single is just such a cheat code, dude. Yeah, it's an absolute cheat code.
Yeah, because you have no obligation to spend money on anybody but yourself.
Yeah, and even not saying that the girl you meet is gonna like expect you to pay for everything and expect you to get gifts, but naturally, like, when you have someone else, you want to do that, you know? And that's just it's naturally gonna be an expense. And when you look at your spreadsheet, you're gonna be like, oh, this is a whole other category that I wasn't expecting.
The woman category.
The woman category.
Yeah. No, also, I think a huge thing is, I don't know, to each their own. Everybody's got their type. Don't go after girls who want the fancy dinner, who want the whole thing, the nice cars and the bags and everything like that.
Totally.
That is not the girl for you, my friend. If you're asking us how to save money and how to live frugally, do not go after those types of girls.
The cheat code is to find the girl who's also like looks for the budget. Yeah. Like, I think that's one of the most attractive things for me. Yeah. Is when she's like, oh, I got the great deal on this thing, and you're like, oh, tell me about it. Yeah. You know?
Or she like tries to save you money, you know? Yeah. Or she'll be like, oh, there's a sale on this. Like, totally, we should go to this. Yeah. 100%. I think, definitely. I think it's important as a guy, obviously this is very guy-centered advice, but like, when we say be single, for sure be single, but like, you should probably date a little bit, because it's important to like interact with women. Yeah. I think it is important to definitely build up the skill of talking to women, because you don't want the one to come along and then you're just like a fucking weirdo. So definitely talk to women and go on dates and stuff. But if you're going on dates, go on dates that are low cost, low barrier
Dude,
to entry.
First date is always walk in the park.
walk in the park, dude, or like get some ice cream or something.
Yeah.
Something
Second date is
small.
coffee.
Yeah,
Third date, walk in the park.
Yeah.
Fourth date, coffee.
Walk in the
date,
park.
walk in the park.
yeah.
With a coffee this time. I'm treating her.
Yeah. See, that's impressive. I would say first date is walk in the park. Second date is walk in the park. Third date is walk in the park. She's
date.
like, this guy really likes to walk in the
Yeah.
park. Wow. He loves nature.
Fifth date, asking her if she has any food in her fridge.
yeah. Fifth date is scouring through her fridge and trying to find food.
Sixth date is let's get breakfast. Go to her house in the morning and say, what we cooking?
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, we should get breakfast. She's like, that sounds like so much fun. And then just show up at her house. What you got? You got any eggs here? Let's make some pancakes.
Also, meet the special person in the setting where you'd want to meet them.
Yeah.
You know? And I think, like you're saying, like, don't meet the girl who's all about the flashy stuff. 'Cause second of all, that's just not the girl for you.
Yeah.
It really, like, no matter who you are, dude, that's, especially if you're trying to do this business, because that will drain you.
Not really a girl that you want in general.
No, not at all.
High
I mean,
maintenance girl.
yeah. So, you know, don't go to the club and expect to find your wife there. Also, if you're following step 2, you're not going to the club in the first place. But also, you know, you can find a good girl at a bar, but I'd prefer you not to. I'm your father.
Chances are lower.
I prefer you not to do that, son.
I'd prefer you not do that.
No, but go to a coffee shop, approach women there,
Yeah.
cold approach, practice your cold approach. Hey, drinking, because I heard energy, because that stuff, but good, Coleman.
Yeah, just announce your name. She's like, what?
Coleman.
Coleman.
Her hands are full.
You hand her your phone with the number thing opened with the contact information. Coleman.
New SoundLodge videos we're going to start dropping, like, you know, cold approach women at places.
Lecture number 3 is how to cold approach women. Guys, a couple good places to find women. Number 1.
Sewer.
Yeah, that was going to be number 5 on my list.
Okay. What's number 1?
Whole Foods. Go to Whole Foods. The library is a good one. Coffee shop. That was one that you said that's a good one.
Park.
Yep, that is a good one too. Let's see. Also, like concerts is a good one too.
Yeah, true.
That's a little bit higher barrier to entry because it's like you probably have to pay for the ticket or
Yeah.
whatever. But still, that's a good place.
I think
Because
especially if you're really into music.
totally because
Yeah.
it's music that go to a show that you enjoy the band.
Yeah, also
or the music.
instantly hit it off and have something in common.
Exactly.
You don't have to be like, coffee, Coleman.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
be like, oh, you like Gregory Allen? I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
I've been to his I live in his walls.
I listen to him when he sleeps.
And
I know
that's
how
how
he
you
snores.
can get the guilt and shame. Because you got to tell somebody. You can't
Yeah.
live with the shame for the rest of your life. So tell her at the concert.
Also, realistically, if you said that, she'd probably think it was really funny. And then you immediately, she's like, this guy's funny.
And you're like,
No, I'm serious.
oh, she thinks I'm joking.
I'm not joking. I really live in his walls. That's how I keep my cost of living so low.
Also, with women, be a completely different version of yourself.
Yeah.
And then only like a few years into dating or even marriage, you start to let the walls crumble and she realizes that she's married a completely different person. And good thing y'all signed a prenup.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Definitely just create a completely different version of yourself that's totally not real and sell her on that version of yourself. And then eventually you realize I can't really keep up with this fake version of myself. And then she's like, what? This guy's totally not what I expected. And then you're like, yep.
Yeah, well, you're also falling in love with somebody that you're not even into because they like you for a person that's not you.
Right.
So, like, they're probably not even the person for you in the first place.
Right. And you actually prefer men anyways.
True. That's
So-
just a whole nother
Another
level.
layer to this onion.
Whole nother layer. So, yeah, guys, it's true for you.
You like men?
Yep. Congrats.
So yeah, what was the thing? Oh yeah, cost of living, keeping your costs of living low. Yeah, don't go anywhere, don't do anything, don't have fun,
Dude,
done none of that stuff.
I mean, it's hard for me to give advice on this because I gave up essentially everything for 2 years and lived in Nashville and did this. And I'm glad that it happened to me. And I think it was important, but it was difficult. And I think if I did it any longer than that, it'd be difficult for me to speak to people.
Yeah.
I think when I first moved to Oklahoma, I was like not used to it.
Yeah.
I was always just kind of in my head. I was used to having conversations in my head, and like literally only talking to Caleb.
Happens.
Yeah. And then like when I'd have conversations with people more than like 20 minutes, Caleb and I would have deep convos, but he was really the only person I talked to.
Right.
I would be like feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like have the disassociation thing where I'd like zoom out and like watch both of us. So I'd be like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, it's not good for your mental health to do this. But also the reason Caleb was the only person I talked to is because I literally did everything. I got groceries, literally never went out. We went to 2 concerts, and I went to the bars once when my friends came up for spring break. And I remember after they came up, I was like, I can never do that again. Because I was like, that was so much of my budget.
Yeah.
I was just so used to not doing literally anything.
Right.
And that's the thing is like, I really progressed as an artist, as a producer, as a businessman, as like an entrepreneur. But I did not progress at all as a person, as an individual. And I also was a little burnt out when I left.
Right.
So like, that's another thing you have to think of. How do you want to be successful in 40 years and 20 years, or do you want to be successful in 6 months and 1 year and like give up literally everything? So everything we say is like take it with a grain of salt, and try to be kind to yourself. Yeah. Take yourself out for a date.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Do it. And actually, that is nice sometimes. Every once in a while, you just go and get coffee by yourself.
Yeah.
Or like go to a little restaurant by yourself. Every once in a while, I'll be driving and I'll stop like at just some random restaurant that I see and just have a little meal.
Another budget hack is, immediately once you cut out these expenses, you're going to have some extra money, which I think you should put into savings. But also, another thing you can do with that money is to reinvest. That is going to really level you up.
Buy a bunch of music gear.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Once you actually have money, don't spend it all on music gear.
Yeah, don't spend it all on music gear. I've been desperately trying to sell items in my studio because I bought this guitar.
And then once I sell those items, I'm like, what other music gear can I buy?
Literally, I sold my camera cam link today for $65, and I immediately hopped on Facebook and I was like, $65 budget.
Yeah.
What am I getting?
Yeah, I sold a couple of things recently, and I was like, I have a couple dollars to spend on stuff now. Immediately hit up like 3 people about pedals that I wanted. I was like, what am I doing? Stop. Guys, you don't need more music gear. Trust us. We know. Or maybe we do, actually.
Music gear does not matter, but it's all I spend my money on.
It's all I ever think about.
Well, that's another thing is, I think you also need to realize, like, how into it am I? If you're not as psychotic as you and I are, then don't do these things, man.
Yeah.
Just have music as a hobby. Music as a hobby is sometimes more pure than trying to make it into a business and trying to make it your everything. So assess that. If you realize like, oh, like music really is everything, then at some point you're able to make all these decisions and cut out so many things that are common but overestimated things, and you find that you actually get a lot of joy out of, buying music gear, or get a lot of joy out of spending 12 hours that day editing a video and making this piece of art, because there is a lot of fun in this. And
because there's nothing else fun in your life.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think it's all about perspective, I think if you enjoy what you're doing and you tell yourself that you enjoy what you're doing, then you're going to enjoy it, and I think it's, with everything in life, there's no perfect scenario, me and Caleb have talked about this, like, sometimes it sucks doing the music thing because you're like, what am I even doing it for? Is this even worth it? Whatever.
I'm staring at a computer screen every day for the whole majority of the day for the past week.
Yeah, exactly. But then also it's like, I'm glad that I don't have the problems that regular 9 to 5 people have, and I'm glad that I don't have to be beholden to some other boss, and I can kind of do my own thing, and that's
it would be
an
nice to have
incredible
benefits.
blessing. Yeah, true.
And healthcare.
Yeah,
and
healthcare.
dental care. I'm about to go to the dentist's office, and I don't have dental care, and that's gonna destroy me
Drop
financially.
$700
Yeah.
to get your teeth checked. Yeah, so there's certain things that would be nice, but there's certain things that I'm sure people who have those kind of things look at us and they're like, I would love to have that situation as well.
Oh, for sure. No, we're so blessed.
Totally.
And yeah, and it's because I could never see myself, doing all those things. Oh, this is another thing, dude. Don't go to college.
Yeah, yeah.
That is huge.
That's
man.
that's a big thing all around. No debt at all.
Yeah.
Do not have a car payment. Do not have a house payment. Do not do that kind of stuff.
Before you quit your job and chase after this thing, get rid of all of your debt.
Absolutely. Also, a thing that I saw, which is really very insightful, the other day, this guy was posting about how like buying a house is such a flex, and like everybody's like, yeah, I bought my first house. It's so cool. But you bought yourself like 40 years of slavery, essentially. Like you have to now work constantly to pay off the mortgage on that house. Like
you can't move.
Yeah, unless you're buying that house outright, just all the way.
Flex.
That is the flex.
That's a flex.
That's the flex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're just buying a house and you have, it's like, oh, that's cool. You have this box to live in, but now you have to stay there for the next 10 years.
That's another thing. If you're renting out a car, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Sell that car. You don't actually need that car. You will figure out a way to figure out the bus routes in your city.
Yeah.
To figure out X, Y, and Z. And if you
Absolutely.
need a car, sell whatever car you're financing and go to a used car dealer, specifically the one that I work in. Buy a car from me so I can get a little percentage. No, go to a used car dealer and get like a 2000s Toyota.
Yeah, I mean, even look on Marketplace. There's cars that you can get for like $1,000. Save up $1,000 for like a couple months and buy the shittiest car that you can find. And maybe it'll barely even run, but if it gets you from A to B, that's really all that matters. You don't need the fancy car. You don't need the status stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Is a lot of the topics we're discussing, part of me thinks, okay, nobody is actually doing these things. Nobody's financing a car, but also is putting all their eggs into music production or trying to be an artist or these things, because I don't think they want it enough to really kind of zoom out and figure that out. But that's a whole other thing you talked about is you have to let go of the ego to do this.
Totally.
Get off Instagram. Stop scrolling Instagram and thinking I'm missing out. You're not missing out, man. If music is everything to you, then it's going to take these sacrifices. And the people that are showing like they're having a good time, it's like, don't hate on them this way. But in 20 years, they're probably going to hate their job.
Yeah. Also, from a personal standpoint, a lot of people that I see that post those like, look at me, I'm having such a good time, and like posting themselves at like bars and clubs and whatever, partying, they have miserable lives. They are like just straight up miserable people that are horrible to be around. Like I know people personally in my life that post a bunch of that stuff, but like they have so many things going on behind the scenes that you do not want to be involved in at all. So it's really easy to see that stuff because social media shows you the best parts of everybody's lives. It's really easy to see that and feel like you're missing out. Trust me when I say it, you are not missing out.
Yeah, you're not missing out. I think, don't do it on Instagram, but delete Snapchat, man. Because I remember on Snapchat, because I deleted Snapchat in high school, so like a long, long time ago. But Snapchat even more so than stories of like seeing exactly what people are up to. Like going through Snapchat would be an update every 4 hours of every person.
Yeah.
And obviously they're just updating on all the fun stuff. And you just think, man, I've been editing this video or I've been mixing this song or producing this song for 4 hours. What am I doing with my life? And so stop comparing yourself to other people and let go of the ego. Yeah. Be okay with being the guy. You got to be okay with people looking at you and saying, oh, you dropped out of college. And you're doing this little music thing. If you get mad at that and you kind of buck up to them, then that's just you're in for a world of hurt. You got to at some point just think to yourself, okay, Yeah, no, I am doing the music thing.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And then move on with the conversation.
That's honestly one of the biggest things that will benefit you in life is just not giving a shit about what anybody else thinks. Like if you're just like, I think the biggest thing is following exactly what you want to do. That is the purest way to live life, is just doing what you want to do. And if you are doing what you want to do, you can be satisfied and be happy in the fact that you know you followed what's true to yourself and not worried about, oh, I have to do this because somebody else wanted me to go and, be a doctor, or somebody else wanted me to follow this other career path. Just do the thing that makes you happy. Follow the happiness and the fun for you, you know?
Don't try to live somebody else's life. Another quote was, it is far better to go wrong in freedom than right in chains. So like, being held down by this job that you don't actually want, but I got this nice car, or I'm successful in these other people's eyes. It's far better to be struggling,
Right.
but waking up every morning and, having a passion to work towards and just thinking I can do anything I want to do today. Obviously I'm going to make it very productive, but I have the freedom to do that. You just feel like a much more of a human.
Yeah.
Doing
you
that.
are free technically,
Yeah.
Like you're way freer than anybody who has to be forced to do a particular one thing or the other,
Get used to failure.
Yeah, very much. But I think also another thing, like the opposite side of the coin, is definitely, get rid of your ego and stop worrying so much about like material things. But there are so many ways to still keep up with those material things in a way that's so much more affordable. Like the one thing that I think of definitely is like clothes and fashion and your style and everything. Because I remember like growing up when I was younger, I think probably more so like middle school, I was always like, I want to get like Jordans, or I want to get like these cool clothes that everybody else has. And it was like, we just didn't have the money to do that. But now as you get older, you're like, dude, going to thrift stores is cool. Like you can find cool clothes at thrift stores, like clothes that are honestly even more expensive than the clothes you would get at regular like department stores and stuff. So, I mean, I found like designer jeans at Goodwill, and I found like nice shoes that are, cost like $150 at Goodwill. That is a really good way to like still have nice things on a budget, like if that's something that's important to you. Like for me, I just enjoy like clothes, and I enjoy fashion, and I enjoy like putting on cool outfits and having cool shirts and all that kind of stuff. That's like brings me happiness. So that's something I do, but I do it in a way where I get it for super cheap. Like I don't have any shirts that are like, more than $7 that I paid for them, but I have a lot of like cool shirts, and shirts that also technically it's an investment. Like I have a lot of shirts that I've gotten from Goodwill that resell for like $200.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of my Marilyn Manson shirts, those are like pretty rare, like vintage
That's
shirts.
sick.
So if you go out and do that, that's also a good way to make money too. Like for a while I was into the whole like Depop thing, like learning what clothes are going to resell for money and all that kind of stuff. And also it's important, this is a whole other area of discussion as well, but it's really important to curate what kind of clothes you wear, because the type of fabrics and type of materials are important as well. Like all of my shirts, 100% cotton, all of them. And I've done that because for one, before I even knew about clothes and fabrics and like materials and all that kind of stuff, I just knew that there was a certain kind of shirt that I liked the way it felt. I just knew that, and I knew it when I saw it, and I could see the shirt, and I'm like, I like this one, and I don't know why, but it's like the thicker, heavyweight cotton.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what the Sound Lodge
Wait a
t-shirts
second.
are.
This feels like thick and heavyweight.
It's thick and heavyweight, and it's the perfect fit. And it's linked in the description below if you want to go purchase them. But yeah,
You will not lose your testosterone, and your sperm will not get killed wearing these shirts.
you will still be able to have children, which is really nice. So yeah, don't wear any polyester bullshit or any synthetic materials, because it's bad for you. I'm trying to get, I went on a wild goose chase looking for cotton sheets for my bed, because I got the new bed. That's another thing happened to me this week, because Wesley, that's a big thing.
That is
Wesley
a
moved
big thing,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, we have a new roommate.
New roommate, my other brother Wesley. Y'all met him in my Making an Indie Rock Beat video.
And road trip with my brothers.
True.
Video.
2 videos featuring the Wes
And we have an exciting announcement to make shaving our head video.
True. We've shaved our head, guys.
Wesley shaved it for us, actually.
That's an announcement.
We
Or
shaved
shaved
our
our
head.
head.
This is a toupee. It's fake.
Or shaved our head.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit of a late announcement. Our hair's been growing for a year now.
Also, guys, next episode's going to be a fun one. We're just going to say that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
We should have waited. It would have been better. Well, there's no way to wait. But it would have been better if it was like episode 30 or something.
Yeah.
But this episode's going to be fun.
It is.
And I think Wesley will be in it too.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be helping out, hopefully.
will.
Normie says, what are some of your all-time favorite movies?
That's a good question.
Movies.
What about you? You're more a movie guy than me. I'm not really a big movie guy.
You
be
like
honest.
you like movies?
I do like movies.
Yeah.
But I'm not like movie. Like I haven't like
Yeah.
seen all the movies that everybody should see and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But I do like movies. I have a good like list of movies that I think are really good.
But sorry to yawn on the podcast, guys. I take this seriously.
Yeah.
I'm not tired.
I'm actually just gonna
No.
hold on, keep talking.
Movies kept me sane in Nashville.
Really?
Yeah.
That was your like vice?
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, I mean, basically anything that's recreational, I always think to myself, I should be working right now.
Mm-hmm.
But in Nashville, I was like, okay, I will not feel this way about movies. Also, like, every weekend I'd play video games with Caleb, and that was always super fun.
Yeah.
And getting on the mic with some of my friends sometimes. But
Yeah.
yeah, movies. Favorite movies, I think The Departed, classic, Scorsese. That movie's unbelievable. I really like The Darjeeling Limited from
that's a
Wes
great
Anderson. I love that movie.
That's one of my favorite Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah.
The shots in there are so good.
Dude, underrated Wes Anderson movie. Also, I have 3 brothers, so like that one actually hit me pretty deep because it's just about them being brothers.
Totally.
But that movie's so good. Fantastic Mr. Fox, great movie.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That one's just beautifully animated.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I'm trying to think. Oh, No Country for Old Men. You saw that? I rewatched that with you.
That was great.
That movie is so good, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So good. I think that's my favorite movie of all time.
That's a great movie.
Goodfellas is a great movie. I'm not a big Godfather guy. I
It's
didn't.
pretty fucking slow.
Yeah, because I remember you watched it.
Yeah.
And did you just watch the first one?
Yeah.
You can really only put yourself through the
Bro.
first one.
Yeah. It was like the weekend when nobody was here too, and I was just watching a bunch of like gangster movies.
Yeah.
Because I watched that and I watched Scarface. Scarface was a lot more fun to watch.
Scarface is fun, man. You need to watch Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my favorite mafia movie.
Okay. There's a bunch of gangster movies I want to watch. There's a couple of Al Capone movies that I definitely want to watch too. Al Capone is
Heat. That movie's a banger, dude.
I don't know that one.
Heat is so good. That's Al Pacino.
Okay.
Al Pacino and
He's the perfect gangster character.
yeah, him and De Niro are the perfect and they're both in Heat.
Yeah.
And it's also Val Kilmer's a phenomenal actor. That needs to be your next movie, Heat. What are some other Al Pacinos that you had on your list? Those are the only that I can think of for Pacino.
Yeah.
Pacino.
Gina.
What are your favorite movies?
Speaking of Al Pacino, I just watched what's it called? Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, that's a funny one,
That
man.
was a great movie. That was hilarious. But
Dude, Jack Black in that movie's so funny.
yeah.
When he's tied to the tree.
Yeah.
That was hilarious, dude.
Speaking of Jack Black, one of my favorite movies ever is a movie called Be Kind Rewind. And
I need to watch that. I
it's a
think,
great movie.
yeah. I think I started that, but it was so slow, and I was like, I kind of want to watch people shoot each other.
Yeah. It's sometimes you're just not in the mood for it, but it's really good. That movie is it's just so nostalgic for me because I
Yeah.
watched it when I was younger for sure. But it's also it hits home for anybody who like does anything creative where you're like making your own movies and that kind of stuff because that's what they do. Like the whole plot is the old guy goes on vacation and hands them the store for like a month or whatever, and Jack Black gets magnetized and he comes in and accidentally erases all the tapes, so they have to film the movies themselves. So they
I didn't watch it and like get the plot. I only watched like
Yeah.
a few. It was like I think a minute, and it was like it was just introducing the movie, and I was like, I want to watch people shoot each other.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think if I watched it right now, I would actually really enjoy it.
It's a great movie. That's one of my favorites. Coraline is probably my favorite movie
Yeah,
ever.
you talk about that one a lot.
Coraline's great. I've read the book and seen the movie like a billion times. I saw the movie in the theaters as well.
That's cool. You like the Halloween movies too?
I do, yeah. I love Nightmare Before Christmas is great
that's
too.
classic.
There's so many. I'm just a big Halloween guy, but yeah,
Do you like Beetlejuice?
yeah, I like Beetlejuice.
Never seen it.
It's good.
Do you think it's overrated?
No, I think it's good. It's been a while since I've seen it though. I definitely want to watch it again. But Beetlejuice is great. It's just such a Halloween-y vibe. You know, it's perfect Halloween vibe. But that's a great one. Let's see. Fantastic Mr. Fox is definitely in my top, 3 of all time. The SpongeBob movie.
The one you watched with Cole? The
No,
weirdly
not that dog
animated
shit
one?
I actually, unironically, when I was younger, I used to watch the SpongeBob movie all the time.
Really?
It's the one where they, David Hasselhoff is in it, and
I don't know if I saw that one.
it's worth a watch. It's definitely like you had to kind of watch it when you were younger to really get it, but it was great, and I watched it a billion times because we just had it on DVD. Because that was how I watched basically everything because we had DVDs, and so we would just whatever DVDs we had, I would watch them a bunch. I'm trying to think of other movies that I think.
Great
are really
movie we
good.
watched recently was The Fighter.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, I love that.
Another one I have
Christian
on my
Bale
list
is incredible.
Tombstone. That's the best Western ever made. I love Westerns. And that one is
I've never really been a big
good,
Western
dude.
guy, to be honest.
really.
Yeah. Just never really was my thing. Let's see what else I have on my letterboxd. There was another movie that I had
Letterboxd.
in my top 4.
These are all my 5 stars. Interstellar. So good. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I was just going to say that one.
Inception. Oh, the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That movie, I remember I was like, why is this getting so much hype? People were saying like this is the best animated movie ever made.
I don't know
watched
about that,
it.
but it's good though.
5 stars. I love that movie.
It's great. I really liked it too.
Grand Budapest Hotel. That's another Wes Anderson. Django. Tarantino.
I haven't seen that one.
Good Will Hunting. That movie's
I need
so
to watch
good,
that
dude.
one. I really need to
movie's
watch
so
that.
good. Before Sunrise. That's a Richard Linklater movie. He made School Rock.
Boyhood is a great movie.
I need to watch Boyhood. You talk about that one a lot.
Boyhood's awesome.
But he made Dazed and Confused and all those other movies. But Before Sunrise, it's a romance movie. And it's a trilogy, and all 3 of them are really good. But
Let's see.
There Will Be Blood,
I need to watch that one. Too.
Birdman. Birdman's, you need to watch Birdman.
You've talked about that before.
You would
yeah.
like Birdman a lot.
I'm pretty sure There Will Be Blood. Johnny Greenwood, guy from Radiohead.
You told me
worked
that.
on the
That's
soundtrack.
so cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, unless it's another one, but I think that's the one.
Yeah.
Which is sick.
That's
'cause
so cool.
He's so talented, and I feel like music makes a movie really good.
Yeah. No, dude, music is a lot. Like, I wanted to score a movie so bad. I
Same.
think that'd be a blast. Apocalypse Now.
I haven't seen that one.
That's a banger. Children of Men. That movie's really cool. Nobody can have kids anymore. And then one lady's pregnant. And they have to, he has to get her. He's a journalist and he has to get her to safety. Apartment.
That's what the government's trying to do to us.
Yeah, for real, man. For real. Hey, man. The Apartment. That's a super old one. That's probably the oldest movie that I have at 5 stars. A lot of old movies I always watch and I'm like, this is overrated.
I hate the film buff people who are like,
Yeah.
oh, the best movies are the ones made in 1910 and blah, blah, blah. It's
No,
like,
totally.
you're
But
an
The
idiot.
Apartment is so good. The ending is really good. And then I have Heat Vision and Jack, which this is actually a TV show.
Wow.
But I need to show you it because it's I think it's Ben Stiller. And yeah, Ben Stiller directed it, and it's Jack Black and Owen Wilson. And Jack Black is the smartest man on earth, but he loses all his powers when the sun goes down. So no, when the sun goes up. So during the day he's stupid, and then at night he's a genius. He's the smartest man in the world. And then he has a talking motorcycle who's Owen Wilson, and he goes around and saves the day. And it's the stupidest thing you'll ever watch in your life. And I played it for Wesley and Caleb when we were in Arkansas. Not even knowing it myself, but I heard about it and I played it, and that was probably the most I laughed in my
Really?
life ever.
You said it's a show?
Yeah,
How many episodes? Is it like a long show?
it's no, they made one episode and they pitched it and it
okay.
didn't get picked up because they were like, "This
Oh.
is so stupid."
That's hilarious.
But it didn't get picked up. But like a lot of people who know about it are always like, "When are we bringing this?" Because this
Yeah.
is the funny. It's so funny in like the stupidest way.
Yeah.
But we need to watch it. But yeah, that's another thing. Thunder playoffs just tied the series.
Bro,
2-2.
we've been playing so stupidly.
I mean, that's the Thunder, dude. We find ways to lose games, but
Dude, the Shea ISO ball is
Yeah.
just not the play. Like, pass the ball to somebody else.
dude,
Let's get some actual plays going
That's
on.
what I'm saying. He can ISO ball.
Totally.
He comes in spurts. Like he might be the like best ISO ball player right now.
Yeah.
His game is just so smooth. It's
Yeah.
so weird watching Shea play basketball because he just like floats around.
Yeah.
And then he puts up a shot and you're like, when did he shoot that?
Yeah.
And it's just his mid range is like the best in the league probably. But that's always what we go to at the end of games. We're just like Shea ISO ball.
Dude, the last like 2-3 games, he just hasn't been hitting. Like
Yeah.
he has not been making shots, and we're like, all right, Dagnall's like, we're just gonna keep going with that. That's
Yeah.
just the play we're gonna keep going with every time down the court, and then he just misses
And he just
4
pulls
possessions
threes,
in a row.
which isn't his. That's not his thing, man.
Dude, I've been complaining about that recently too. All of the NBA now is just dribble on the
Yeah.
court, 3-pointer, miss.
Yeah.
Dribble on the court, 3-pointer, miss. Or, sometimes they make it and then it's just 3-pointer, 3-pointer, 3-pointer. They don't actually do anything other than that. And it's kind of like drawing up plays is now kind of dead in the NBA because
Yeah.
it's just dribble down, shoot a fucking 3-pointer from basically half court.
Dude, that's why Ant is so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because he's like an anomaly right now. Yeah, no, the playoff basketball is just, it's different.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
But tonight could be, I think tonight is when they choose the MVP,
Really?
if I'm not mistaken. So it could be a huge night for OKC if
Yeah.
Shea wins and we win this game and take the lead.
Did you hear about the draft lottery thing?
No.
So the Mavs had like a 1.8% chance to get I think even just top 4 pick. They got the first pick in the draft.
No way.
Yeah. And everybody was like, the NBA is not beating the rigged allegations now.
Yeah.
Because, like, dude, after that horrendous Luka trade and now
Yeah.
they got first pick.
Yeah, they're like,
which
we got to even it out.
it gives them so much more, like, trading power now, which
Totally.
is honestly amazing for Mavs fans. Also, Bulls, 12th pick. We got the fucking 12th pick. We're, like, one of the worst teams. Not one of the worst teams. We're pretty middle of the pack.
y'all weren't that bad.
No, we're pretty middle of the pack, which makes sense that we would get a pick like that. But it's just like that's the worst spot to be in any sports league because being right in the middle, you just have no chance. Like you're just like barely keeping your head above water, and you don't really have any like chance to make any moves or get any good players or anything like that. So it really just sucks.
Yeah, that's why you assess like around the middle of the season. You're like, should we just start losing games?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a very valid strategy because it's like, dude, if we're not even going to make the playoff, like if we're going to be, 8th seed in the playoffs, is it even really worth it to get in there because we're not going to do anything as 8th seed.
No, dude, this is crazy for OKC. Is we, I think the odds are at like we're plus 100. And then I think the next team is the Pacers and they're like plus 650. So like to win the finals.
Yeah.
Which is like that's never been the case for OKC.
We definitely need to win this game tonight.
Well, yeah, I think the Nuggets are probably the toughest team we're going to play.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else is like really good right now.
Cavs would be a threat.
Cavs are pretty cool.
Knicks could be a threat too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously Celtics, but the Knicks are up on
Dude,
them.
Jason Tatum got hurt.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I didn't even
that's
see
why.
that.
That's why the Knicks won.
That's crazy.
Because Jason Tatum got hurt in the fourth quarter. I think he had 40 points. He was gonna break some record for playoff basketball. I think just for the Celtics, but for points.
I didn't even finish that game.
But he got hurt. Yeah.
Wow.
And then the Knicks won.
Well, the Knicks are going to make it to the next round then. They're up 3-0.
Yeah.
That's nutty. Yeah, sorry for the basketball talk, guys, but basketball. Hoop
Yeah, I
games.
get really into basketball when usually around playoff basketball around the finals, but especially if if OKC's playing well.
Yeah.
Because I remember last year we were playing kind of well, and it was like,
It was fun to watch for
yeah,
sure. It's hard to follow basketball when your team sucks ass.
yeah,
Just watching the Bulls is like, all right, we have basically coin flip if we're going to win this game or not.
totally. Yeah, I love sports. I'm more of a player though. I just like playing,
Yeah.
and I'm a huge college football guy. Like that's not huge comparatively to some people. But I love OU football. That's like my favorite thing to follow. But now that OKC is good, it's super fun to follow OKC too. But
Pretty hard to follow OU football.
no, exactly. But that's a team that like I will always follow no matter if we're good or not.
Yeah.
And usually when the Thunder's not very good, I'm like I don't follow them that
Yeah.
heavily. But like I don't really have an NFL team.
Yeah.
But I play fantasy, so I'll watch the Bills because I'm a Josh Allen guy because I have Josh Allen. I've had him for like 5 years. We do a legacy draft, so I've followed the Bills for like 5 years. I guess they're my team, but don't really watch hockey. Don't watch baseball.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the thing. There's a lot of sports that I really don't care to watch at all. Like, I don't really care to watch, like, even other weird sports. Like, I'm not going to watch tennis. I'm not going to watch, like, sports like that. But, like, I'll definitely have a lot of fun playing them, though.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's the case with most of them. I think basketball is one of the main ones that I'll watch. Basketball and football are the main ones that I'll watch because I just enjoy those a lot in general. But other sports, like, I'll definitely play, like, I can't skate, but I'll play like floor hockey or whatever, and I'll play like whatever other sports that
I'll
people
play
are playing.
anything that's competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's always been my life with my 3 brothers. Like we moved around a lot, so we didn't have a lot of friends, but we would, my parents would be like at a dinner with these people and it'd just be us 4. And we'd be like, okay, we have a ball right here and then we have these 2 cones. How can we make a game? And how can there be points?
Yeah.
Like there always had to be points. There has to be a winner.
Yeah.
Someone has to walk away a winner. We're not just no participation trophies here.
Yeah.
So like I've always been competitive in that sense.
Yeah.
But another one I've been getting into is golf. Like I've been watching a lot of golf, but that's because I'm playing a lot of golf more.
Yeah.
But golf is just so expensive.
Yeah. Golf has just never been a thing for me, really. So it's never been a sport.
That was your first job, though.
True. Yeah.
Golf pro. That was your first job.
Yeah.
But you're
Professional
like, this
golfer.
isn't for me.
I
You
was
won the
like,
Masters.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just way better than everybody. And it's kind of just boring at this point, so I had to quit. So yeah, that's where my golf career ended. It's like Michael Jordan going and playing baseball instead. He was like, I feel like I've given all I can give to the game because I'm just so fucking good. And then he goes and sucks at baseball. And he's like, actually, guys, I changed my mind. I do suck at baseball, so now I'm going to play basketball again. We're going to go play basketball right now.
Yep.
We're going to go play Minecraft right now.
We're streaming. You down to stream in like 30?
Yeah, soon.
Yeah, guys, the streams are back up. Streams are back up. Come send us your music. We'll react to it. And
I'll be like, wow, this is so good music.
wow,
Wow.
this is so good.
How did you make this? That's so
How in
crazy.
the world?
People are
in
like
the world?
expecting like professional feedback. And you're like, this is so good. How did you make this? That's really good music.
So good. Who's that actor that talks like that? Wow.
Oh, Christopher Walken?
Yeah. Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Foo Fighters. Did I tell you about that?
No.
So apparently there was some sort of like MTV thing or something, and Christopher Walken was the host, and he came backstage and he asked them like, is the emphasis on the Foo or the Fighters? And they were like, it's on the Fighters. So then he was like, ladies and gentlemen, the Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters. So funny.
All right, battery's about to die.
Thank you for watching.
Guys, please send in a call in. Send in a call in to the call in channel.
Send it in.
Boop. Or to the email.
the
Whatever
Discord.
we decide what method it is. Whatever method we decide.
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
Send a call in to the channel, guys.
Please.
Thank you for watching this video.